When I open my heart big and wide, my essence cannot hide. You see me as I am, a tender, gentle, radiant lamb. The pure white love, I smile at you. You take it in, you smile too. Together we break out in song and sing our love, the whole day long.
Incredibly joyous song. What a way to start out a beautiful Sunday. Thank you for being here. Marilyn, why don't you get off too? Thank you so much for being here this morning. Gorgeous as always. So right now I just invite you to breathe with me as we settle in here this morning. Breathe a mindful breath and relax into this beautiful, beautiful day. As we bring ourselves into alignment with that divine presence within us and into alignment with each other here at CSL as we speak our mission statement together. We recognize and realize the omnipresence of divine love as the truth of all.
Be still, my soul, be still. Be still, my soul, be still. Be still and know. I will make a quiet place within my life, and I will listen, Holy Spirit. I will listen. I will make a quiet place. I will make a quiet place. I will make a quiet place.
And in this moment, I invite you to breathe with me into our heart centers as we open our mind and heart fully to the awareness that God is all there is. And I align myself with this God consciousness, realizing that there is only one life, one spirit, one presence. And I call this God. I call it spirit. I call it life itself. And that life expresses in and through and around each of us as us. And it calls to each of us to be the highest, best, most joyous, most excellent, freest expression we can be. Right now, each of us steps into that greatness that we are called to express. And we do so in honor of Spirit, ourselves, and each other. Now, deep within my innermost being, I speak my word for each of us here today, knowing that this life journey is a life of joy. It is a life of love, of passion, of freedom and honor. It is the presence of Spirit within, co-creating our life. And we are grounded and centered in our birthright of those essences of joy, of peace, of love, of passion, of creativity. For our life is simply spirit being the best it can be. So we each drop all those things that aren't of spirit into the nothingness from which they came, and get out of our own way, giving room for our beautiful expression to come forth and bubble up as our life. And I am so grateful to know that this is the truth of each and every one of us. And I turn my attention to the prayer chest and the request there and the desires of your heart. And I know that each request is a radiant opening for the perfect livingness of life. And I accept the fullest expression of Spirit's perfection, manifesting for the highest good of all concerned in the midst of each request. That the truth is being revealed in wholeness and love
in divine abundance, that each person is guided, uplifted into right action, into right thought, into right knowingness from that place of the divine. And all is well right now. And so that is. So I give thanks for this celebration today of life, knowing that each one of us is opening to a deeper and higher consciousness of our being. I am thankful for each volunteer and staff who have dedicated their time and efforts for the greatest expression for each of us. Our volunteers and staff are blessed, we are blessed, and we know that Spirit is right here in the midst, expressing through each one of us. So being grateful for this love, this passion, this truth of our being, for this livingness and the essence of Spirit, I just release these words into the law, knowing it is already so. It is the best of life coming into fruition as we open our hearts and declare, and so it is.
Get ready, my soul. I'm dying. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul. 'Cause here I go, deeper, deeper, deeper than I've ever been before. Here I go, closer, closer, closer to my sacred source. Here I go, deeper, deeper, deeper than I've ever been before. Here I go, closer, closer, closer to my sacred source. Get ready, my soul.
Good morning. I'd like to call your attention to the prayer chest. It's just down the stairs to the left. If there is something in your life that is troubling you, is giving you a little bit of discomfort, bringing worry on your mind all the time, please put it in the prayer chest and the practitioner will do affirmative prayer on your behalf this week. And my quote, intelligence and capability are not enough. Those must be the joy. There must be the joy of doing something beautiful. the name is sort of Govindapur Vinaswamy. Sorry. And from Emily Dickinson, find ecstasy in life. The mere sense of living is joy enough.
Thank you so much, Lou. All right. Well, here we are. Our whole focus for 2022 is abundant living. Anyone interested in abundant living? Yeah. And so we've been breaking that out into the months. And this month for August, we are studying abundant joy. And so I'd like to talk this morning a little bit about joy and intelligence. So remember that I had been reading this, this is the pamphlet form of Emmett Fox's The 7 Main Aspects of God. Any Emmett Fox fans in here? Yeah, well, we're gonna get a little bit of Emmett Fox today, okay? So his 4th main aspect that he talks about, not in any particular order or anything, but he talks about this one that really caught my attention, and I started practicing it right away. And the aspect is divine intelligence, okay? That's the 4th one that he talks about. So I'd really like to share with you today how a new understanding of the intelligence of God, or a metaphysical or a new thought understanding of the intelligence of God, can lead us to more joy in our lives, kind of like an effortless joy in our lives. So I'm going to tell you a little story, and this is one example of how I practiced using or knowing divine intelligence, to try to get you an idea of what I'm talking about here. So, and this is just a tiny little thing. Well, it wasn't so tiny to me. It was bigger to me, but you can use this idea with anything. So Roy and I were taking a trip to Durango, I don't know, at the beginning or the end of July, something like that. And we were taking my car, and I had just had it serviced and such. And so we're driving along, and we get to some construction between Ridgeway and Ouray. And so being such a good steward of the earth, Roy turns off the car when we're sitting in line. And we were at the very front of the line, right by the flag guy. And it came time for us to go, and the car wouldn't start. It did that clicky thing where I knew it was the battery. And I kind of had a little bit of issues with the terminals being all corroded and yucky, before. And I thought, oh, that's probably what it is. And here we are in traffic, a whole line of us, behind us, and we're the front car, and we can't move. And, and I'm just like, I could have got upset, but I didn't, and I just stayed calm, and I brought in this idea of divine intelligence. Divine intelligence is right where we are. Divine intelligence is in this car. Divine intelligence is my intelligence. Divine intelligence is at work right now. And I stayed calm in doing this, and in the meantime, Roy's trying to do everything. The car is not going to start, Roy. And so I'm thinking, we'll just stay here. We'll put our hazard lights on, let people go around, and we'll get pulled off. And in the meantime, I'm really going into this divine intelligence, and I'm really relaxing and knowing that intelligence is right where I am. It's right where we are. It's in this situation right now. And as I was doing that, I got this vision in my head, or this, I was envisioning a State Farm statement. Just popped into my head, my insurance, and I remembered, I saw that it said something about roadside assistance, and I'm like, maybe I have roadside assistance. And so I called. Here's the thing, it was a Friday, not a weekend, right? So State Farm was open, and also shops or garages were open. It was a miracle I had cell service in the first place. And so I called my State Farm agent, and my sweet little Katie picked up, And she goes, oh yeah, you have roadside assistance and blah, blah, blah. And I said, okay, I'm in between Ridgeway and Uray. And she goes, well, what do you think the problem is? I told her. She said, well, you just hang up. I'll call you back and we'll do a 3-way call. I'll find you a mechanic. And I was like, oh my God, intelligence is in you too. And so she did. She called and found me somebody that would come, and he scraped off the things. She could put a 3-way call on. He scraped off the things. Our car started. He jumped it. We started. We followed into the shop. He cleaned it all up nice and beautiful and all of that, and we were on our way. Now I did have to get a new battery, but I made it to Durango where there was an AutoZone and I could buy a new battery, right? So, and my point is, have you ever been so flustered by something that happened to you on the outside that you started making really poor decisions? I remember when I was a teenager and I did something stupid driving, and all of a sudden I find myself doing stupid thing after stupid thing because I'm so upset. I was not making good choices. So my whole point here is using this idea of divine intelligence to keep myself calm, to claim the intelligence there already, to allow that vision to come to my head, and easily and effortlessly we were out of there. It was, not much time lost at all. We didn't have to go back to Montrose. We went to Uray on the way where we were going. So that's my little story right there. You can realize divine intelligence anytime, and it will show up for you. So the more information that we have about something, the better decisions we can make about that thing. Do you agree with that? Mm-hmm. The more information I have about it, I can make a better decision. We base our decision around the amount of truth that we know about something. My decision or the choice that I make can never be beyond the truth or the accurate information that I have about it. I base my understanding on the amount of information that I have. If my information is incomplete or false, then I will likely make a poor decision, right? But if my information is true, then my decisions will be of a higher energetic frequency. A higher energetic frequency, like the kingdom of heaven, according to the Master Jesus. The kingdom where the spirit or the substance of divine intelligence or God freely flows as an energy, unobstructed to all, equally in every moment. That leaves nothing or no one out. The invisible substance of God, that divine creative energy, and we also call that love, right? That's where we want to live, and that's where we want to make decisions from. We want to abide, make your home in the kingdom of divine intelligence, which will effortlessly guide us to a more joy-filled life. It will effortlessly guide us to ideas that we didn't have before, information that we didn't know before was available. So understanding and trusting the intelligence of God, or the intelligence of the universe, maybe somebody wants to say. Maybe they don't like that word God. Just a little side note here. I like the word God because God to me is big. It's the biggest thing I can think of. But that's what you need to do, is get your own concept of God, the biggest thing that you can think of, and use that. You don't have to use the words that I say here. Just reinterpret while you're listening right there so it makes sense for you. So understanding and trusting this intelligence will naturally make us more aware of the abundant joy that is always present. It's always present and available. So I'm going to read. Everybody okay if I read some Emmett Fox? Yes. All right. So I won't read the whole chapter. Just got some highlights here. But nobody says it like Emmett, so I want to, give it to you straight here. The fourth main aspect of God is intelligence. God is not merely intelligent, but God is intelligence itself. When you clearly realize that this is an intelligent universe, it will make a major difference in your life. It is obvious that in an intelligent universe, there cannot be any disharmony, because all ideas must work together for the common good. This means that there can be no clashing or overlapping anywhere, and neither can there be any lack. An engine which has been intelligently designed does not have any unnecessary parts, and neither are any essential parts lacking. The machine is just right, complete and perfect, and so is the universe when we understand it. In an intelligent universe, there can be neither cruelty nor waste, for these two things are infallible symptoms of a lack of intelligence. And so we know that inharmony and stupidity of any kind are but illusions of the carnal mind. So he's calling carnal mind is the collective consciousness, the physical mind, the atom mind, not that spiritual mind, okay? So any kind of disharmony or stupidity are illusions of our own minds. And in fact, this is the important sentence here, they always begin to disappear under the realization of God as intelligence, realizing the aspect of intelligence of God can make those things disappear. The Bible says, in effect, whatever you think I am, that will I be to you. And this means that if we attribute to God every quality of an infinite, intelligent, loving personality, having infinite power, God will be just that to us. He says, you should treat yourself. So treat for us is like prayer. In metaphysics or New Thought, we call prayer treatment. And so he says, you should treat yourself for intelligence at least 2 or 3 times a week by thinking about it and claiming it for yourself. This practice will make every activity of your life more efficient. Anybody use more efficiency in their lives, right? There are sure to be some things that you could do in a better way than you are doing them. And this treatment will bring such things to your notice, right? If you are wasting time in certain directions, this treatment will make the fact clear to you, and you will be shown a better way of working. Or you might be shown a State Farm statement in your head. When things in your life seem to be going wrong, treat yourself for intelligence. When business or other conditions appear to have reached a deadlock, treat yourself for intelligence. When you seem to be up against a stone wall and apparently there is no way out, treat yourself for intelligence. If you have to deal with someone who is seemingly very stupid or foolish, I love his language, right? Realize that divine intelligence works in him because he is a child of God. And if you get sufficient realization, okay, if I get sufficient realization of this intelligence of this other person, he will change for the better. But, here's a but. It may sometimes happen, however, that you are the person who is at fault, although you did not in the least suspect it, and in that case, you will come to see it, and you yourself will change. You see how that grace of God works, right? Remember also, I love this part. Remember also the wonderful fact that when you treat a person or yourself spiritually, the result of that treatment will be with the patient, not only in the present time, but for the rest of his life. Accumulative, right? If you treat little Johnny for intelligence today, his schoolwork will improve immensely. But 50 years from now, when he is a man of 60, he will be more intelligent and therefore happier and more successful because of today's treatment. Now, don't you want to go and treat for your self-intelligence twice a week? Right? If you are in business, treat yourself and your assistants for intelligence several times a week. This is good. Some people make a practice of blessing the store or the office every morning soon after they arrive, and this brings splendid results. The intelligence aspect of God is very important in its relation to the health of the body. Boy, we all want that, right? It would not be an intelligent proceeding to make a body that can be easily hurt or damaged, or one which would grow old after only 70 or 80 years use. Right? Yet the carnal mind, okay, that's our belief system, our collective consciousness belief system, believes just these things. And so men's and women's bodies experience decay in what we call old age. When the human race realizes clearly enough, those are such important words, realizes clearly enough, we actually realize it, right? That God is intelligence, the old age belief will be overcome. That's a lot packed in there, wasn't it? So, I want to put this slide up here, and I just, so maybe you can't do a treatment, and we're going to do a treatment here in just a minute. We're going to do a collective treatment. But maybe you don't have time, or you can't do a treatment all the time, or you're sitting in traffic, or whatever it is. So I've got some affirmations up here where you can claim the divine intelligence of God. I claim the intelligence of God as my intelligence now. Now, do you know when I say that? Every time I get up here to speak, right? I claim that intelligence of God as my intelligence now. Then I have to trust that intelligence coming forward. I know that divine intelligence is in the middle of this situation right now. Is there any time you feel like you could claim that and you need that? All kinds of situations happening in the world and in our personal lives all the time. I don't care how big or how little it is. Okay? I know that the divine intelligence is in the middle of this situation. Divine intelligence is maintaining and sustaining my body in perfect balance. Boy, is that good to know. Divine intelligence guides and directs me in this decision or situation or circumstance or relationship. Fill in your own blank. Divine intelligence guides and directs me. And we sometimes call this intelligence, or this guiding intelligence, divine right action. Have you ever heard that? Right? The action of God, life itself, infinite intelligence, divine right action. So here, so you've got these affirmations. We'll leave those up here for a minute. And then here is another spiritual tool, which we use a lot here on Sundays. A claim for divine intelligence in song. And I know y'all know this song. Did you know this was an affirmation? Go ahead. So we're going to sing this right now together. Sing it out.
Divine right action is guiding me today. Everything I'll ever need keeps coming my way. Divine right action is guiding me today. Everything way. Divine right action is guiding me today. Everything I'll ever need is coming my way.
Divine right action, the intelligence of the divine, is guiding me today, right now. It's guiding me right now. Everything I'll ever need. Did you notice that word, everything? Everything I'll ever need keeps coming my way. It shows up in my life. Okay, remember when he said it shows up to you as you believe, right? We offer these songs to use when we are fearful, when we're afraid, or we're in doubt, or we're headed on a downward spiral. It happens to everyone, and there's nothing wrong with it. It's just another time to practice, right? So we offer these things. It's our intention here at CSL to give you as many tools to help you experience more joy and peace in your life. All of the songs are tools for living a spiritual life. So we invite you to memorize those songs and use them. So in studying this particular aspect of God, divine intelligence, I wrote a treatment for someone, and I would like to claim it for all of us today. So I invite you to take these words as I speak them as your own, as we practice claiming divine intelligence through spiritual mind treatment. So this is what we call prayer, and this is another tool that we use, probably our biggest tool. The tool Lou uses when she prays for you. You put something in the prayer chest. She's using spiritual mind treatment. She's giving herself a treatment and including you in it. How wonderful is that? It is pretty wonderful. So remember, Emmett Fox says that we should treat ourselves for intelligence at least 2 or 3 times a week. And when we aren't sitting to treat, we can still use those short affirmative statements to realize the intelligence of God everywhere present. It's everywhere present. All right? Okay, so I invite you just to be still for a moment. Just relax. We're going to do a little meditation. We'll have some music come in through that meditation before we end it. I sit right now to recognize and realize the presence of God within me. I breathe. Don't forget to breathe. Relax. All is well. God is the one and only energy or life. And it is in action always, at all times. The action of God is life itself. God maintains and sustains itself using the intelligence aspect of itself. A system of oneness where there is only one will always have all the power because it contains all the information to be known. In the one, all the information. The information is within it always because there is nothing outside of the one. It has all the answers to every question, every problem, every challenge, and every dream. Omniscience, the state of knowing everything. That that divine intelligence created me out of itself as an individualized expression of itself. Therefore, I contain all the answers within me to all of my questions and problems and dreams. Life, the action of God, or love in action, governs my body. Divine life flows through this body, bringing the light of intelligence into every cell, organ, bone, muscle, every part of my body, my mind, and my emotions. It is emanating from my Christ consciousness deep within me, the spiritual me. This light releases the information of God. The divine intelligence of the one mind releases it into my body from deep within me. This well of information or intelligence is always present, always true, always available, and it lives in the silence of my own soul. It is here right now. And as I believe this to be true, the law of God acts on my belief and makes it true in my outer life. As within, so without. So I sit and I feel the truth of the presence of love, of my source, my Father, closer than breathing, nearer than hands and feet. This presence is calling me to come home. Come home to love. Come home to health and well-being. Come home where you belong, in the heart of God. The truth of these words expands my being beyond any limitations that may be appearing to me. And I now know these words to be true. God is the intelligence of my body. God is the intelligence of my body. Life governs my body. My body is in perfect working order, according to God's truth, the spiritual me, my real truth. Divine intelligence governs my body, my mind, and all of my affairs. And my heart is full of gratitude. In spirit, I am whole, perfect, and complete right now. I'm so grateful. My heart is full of God.
I fall down upon the ground, press my face against the earth, till my heart it rises over my head. As the wheat, it bows down low, when the autumn winds they blow. I kneel before the one I love. find me lost in grace. Like the dust that I first held in a garden where we knelt, pulled us face to face again. Till the breath of life filled the depths of my soul, till all I know is I've been found by love. Find me grateful, find me thankful, find me on my knees, find me dreaming, find me singing, find me lost in grace. Find me grateful, find me thankful, find me on my knees, find me dreaming, find me singing, find me lost in grace. I fall down upon the ground, press my face against the earth, till my heart rises over my head. As the wheat, it bows down low, when the autumn winds they blow. I kneel before the one I love. Find me grateful, find me thankful, find me on my knees, find me dreaming, find me singing, find me lost in grace. Find me grateful, find me thankful, find me on my knees, find me dreaming, find me singing, find me lost in grace. Find me grateful, find me thankful, find me on my knees, find me dreaming, find me singing, find me lost in grace, find me lost in grace, find me lost in grace.
I know this divine presence is the truth of everyone. We are all one, whole, perfect and complete in spirit as one, individualized but never separated, connected and governed by the Godhead itself and made manifest as us here and now. So right now we speak our word, our powerful word, which releases the law of God into action to bring to us that which we claim to be true. We claim God and I are one life, one love, one power. There is no other than God. We are surrounded, immersed in, and filled with divine intelligence. All is well. I relax, I rejoice, I give thanks. And I release my prayer or this treatment as I deposit it into the vastness of infinite intelligence, knowing my words are God's energy, which produce all things in my life, including health and wealth and well-being. So I allow this treatment to stand on its own, fulfilling the law of God's creative universe. I am creating a healthy mind and body right now. And right now. And right now. And so it is. And now I let it be.
God, you are every mountain. God, you are every ocean. God, you are every canyon, every inch of earth and sky. God, you are every morning. God, you are every midnight. God, you are every moment, every second of my life. Everything I see, everything I do, everything I am is you. Everything above, everything below, everything I know is you. God, you are every sunrise. God, you are every moonbow. God, you are every starshine, every inch of earth and sky. God, you are every springtime. God, you are every snowfall. God, you are every season, every second of my life. Everything I see, everything I do, everything I am is you. Everything above, everything below, everything I know is you. 'Cause you are the very breath I breathe. And your perfect love created me. Everything I see, everything I do, everything I am is you. Everything above, everything below, everything I know is you. Everything I see, everything I do, everything I am is you. Everything above, everything below, everything I know is you. Everything I see, everything I do, everything I am is you. Everything above, everything below, everything I know is you.
Okay, as the ushers come forth, this is our time to consciously participate in the law of circulation. So if you will take your gift, your tithe, your symbol of your abundance in your hand, know with me that this is my opportunity to acknowledge the givingness of the universe that flows through me and returns. And in this spirit of givingness, I give, knowing that my gift goes out, creating a world that works for all. And our affirmation,
I am worthy of abundance. Oh, Father, for the triumph and trials, for the moment in mystery, for the sorrow and the smile, for the peace and the conflict, for the silence and song, for the calm and confusion, for the winter and the war. Oh, Father of my heart, thank you for the blessings of the day. Oh, Father of my heart, thank you for the blessings of the day. For the light and the shadow, for the triumph and trials, for the moment in mystery, for the sorrow and the smile, for the peace and the conflict, for the silence and song, for the calm and confusion, for the winter and the war. Oh, Father of my soul, thank you for the blessings of the day. Oh, Father of my soul, thank you for the blessings of the day.
And these blessings are blessed as they go forth for the betterment, for the expansion of consciousness for our church, our community, and our world. And so it is.
Are y'all getting the words on that song? I still stumble. That's all. We have one more week and then to get those words down. All right. So here we have Claiming Our Good, all about joy. Look at that for a little bit. These are just affirmative statements that we all claim together. We read them aloud all the way down. Here we go. Joy is the essence of my being. My inner joy is the source of all the good in my life. I give myself permission to enjoy myself. Yes. I am worthy of feeling happy, and so it is.
I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I'm getting blessed by here. My soul is welcome here. I'm in the right place at the right time.